Have you ever wondered why your life seems to attract battles that other people cannot even understand? Why does it feel as if every time you are about to move forward, something invisible rises to resist you? Why do opportunities disappear at the last second? Why do relationships suddenly change? Why do people misunderstand you without reason? Why do you feel like you are fighting a war that nobody else can see? Most people immediately assume they are cursed, unlucky, or being punished. But what if the attacks are revealing something completely different? What if resistance is not always proof that you are losing? What if it is evidence that something inside you carries value? Think about it. A thief does not spend the whole night trying to break into an empty house. A counterfeiter does not copy worthless paper. Gold is hidden in vaults because it has value. Diamonds are protected because they are rare. The greater the value, the greater the protection. Whether you see spiritual warfare through a religious lens or as a symbolic way of understanding life's struggles, one pattern appears again and again. The things we value most often face the greatest resistance. History reflects this idea. Many people who changed the world faced extraordinary opposition long before they were recognized. Resistance alone does not prove destiny, but it can force you to ask an important question. What inside me is worth fighting over? That question changes everything. Because many people spend years trying to escape every challenge instead of discovering what those challenges are revealing about them. Sometimes your greatest battle is pointing toward your greatest responsibility. And until you understand that, every attack will feel like punishment instead of preparation. Imagine planting two seeds. One grows into ordinary grass. The other grows into a giant oak tree. Which one will face stronger winds? The oak. Not because the wind hates the tree, but because the tree is becoming something much greater. Growth naturally attracts greater pressure. The same principle appears throughout life. The bigger the responsibility, the greater the testing. Pressure does not always come because something is wrong. Sometimes pressure comes because something is developing. Many people spend years asking, "Why is this happening to me?" A more powerful question is, what is this experience trying to build inside me? Patience? Wisdom? Discernment? Self-control? Compassion? Courage? Life often shapes us through resistance. Without pressure, muscles never grow stronger. Without friction, a diamond is never polished. Without fire, gold is never refined. The challenge is not to romanticize suffering or assume every hardship has a supernatural cause. Some struggles come from our own choices. Some come from other people's actions. Some are simply part of being human. But regardless of their source, every challenge gives us an opportunity to grow into someone stronger than we were before. When you stop seeing every obstacle as proof that life is against you, you begin asking how this moment can prepare you for what comes next. That shift in perspective can completely transform the way you experience hardship. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that spiritual growth means life becomes easier. In reality, growth often increases awareness. You begin noticing unhealthy relationships you once ignored. You recognize habits that no longer serve you. You become more intentional about your choices. And because of that, some people naturally drift away. Not every ending is an attack. Sometimes it is simply alignment. As you change, your environment changes with you. That process can feel lonely. You may lose friendships. You may outgrow old ambitions. You may even question parts of your own identity. But transformation rarely feels comfortable. A caterpillar cannot become a butterfly while remaining a caterpillar. Something old must end for something new to emerge. Many people mistake this uncomfortable transition for failure. Yet it may simply be evidence that your life is moving into a new season. Growth asks for courage. It asks you to release what is familiar. It asks you to trust that becoming who you are meant to be is worth the discomfort. Your value is not measured by how many battles you face. It is measured by the character you develop while walking through them. Because in the end, the greatest victory is not defeating an invisible enemy. It is refusing to let hardship turn your heart into something bitter. Stay awake. Stay wise. Keep growing. Sometimes the very battles you wish would disappear become the experiences that shape the person you were always capable of becoming.